Good morning, everybody. June 13th, Tuesday. So I've been going through a lot of symbols, a lot of different things in my head, and I've been getting a lot of symbols. One of the big symbols that I just posted on my Facebook wall was the red-winged blackbird. Red-winged blackbird's been coming across my path a lot of times, but one of the biggest things I guess I'm trying to get through is figuring out what this process is. And my first and only conclusion I can come up with is that we have to come back to where it started, and that's where I'm back at Salt River. Salt River is the first shot I had, but this is at the beginning of the river. Symbolically, it stands for the rebirth. That's what the red-winged blackbird symbolizes. That's what the cicada symbolizes, or chichada. All these creatures I've been encountering seem to be telling me about rebirth. Even down to the very first video I did, I said there was a gecko in there. I don't know if you guys heard clearly, but from the gecko to what ended up being a hummingbird, the buzzing that was by my ear came by me. So there was constant symbols nonstop. And then every place I went up until the Freemason Illuminati video, I had lizard symbols. And for me, lizards are symbolic of the earth. They're belly crawlers. They're symbolic of the ego, or the character we create within this life. So there's a lot of symbols within that. But to go with that comes the flying creature. So the bird, or I saw a dragonfly. We had the cicada. We had the red-winged blackbird. I don't know if you realized, the bird that's singing in that very first video where I'm at Salt River is the red-winged blackbird. That was the bird that was constantly hovering around me and hanging out with me. And I was aware of it. It's been a long time symbol that I had from a while ago, and I've been quite familiar with so many symbols. It's ridiculous. But the red-winged blackbird is, to me, it has images of red and yellow on its wing. It's a flying creature. It soars, which means it's elevated thinking. The black is a symbol of the Nile. In Egyptian times, the Nile was a symbol of creation, or the beginning, or the creational waters. The abyss is also a symbol of that. The pit is a symbol of that. So many different other ideologies that come into it that represent rebirth. And that's because with every initiation, there's always a rebirth. And that's what Freemasonry, that's what these mystery schools teach, is that even shamanism, it's all about rebirth. Because one has to learn that the consciousness is never fully evolved. It's always evolving. It's always rebirthing. It's always reaching a new stage or a new level, and it's gaining new heights, and it's gaining new awareness, and it's gaining new thinking. I've come to this conclusion many a times already, just within the past 3 years, but even from my old belief systems. I mean, one of the things I want to incorporate into this video was that I mentioned Christians a lot, but I don't think people realize I was a Christian, or they think that my Christian mentioning is a form of dislike. I hate using the word hate, ironically, in that sentence. So dislike is not of the Christian, because I appreciate the Christian individual, and I understand full-heartedly that if anything, I need the Christians who are out there to full-heartedly believe in what it is I'm trying to talk about. Because if your belief system can go so far into believing that belief ideology, I can only make more sense to your picture, because there's so much logic in it. If you're willing to believe wholeheartedly with your heart and soul and go into this right direction based off of things that have been fabricated to you, I definitely need you, because you are going to be the belief system that makes it work. So don't think that I have anything against Christians. My only qualm with that is the church, because I had such a upbringing in it, and it raised so many hairs on my neck that I couldn't understand in the end why it was. There's the red-winged blackbird, guys. There was just so many things I couldn't understand with it, like why they were teaching these doctrines that had nothing to do with the actuality of the symbols. And they give you definitions, but there's never one there to kind of explain anything or go deep into things. And there's a big wasp, but another flying creature. What do you know? Every video I have a flying creature, and in these videos they're, to me, explaining the higher elevated mind. It's all about the awareness, the understanding of what surrounds you, and being aware and staying aware, and never forgetting that you can't not be aware, because that's every step in your evolution of learning, is understanding how aware you are. Is like what you're doing, how you're doing it, when you're doing it, who you're doing it to. etc. So in this video, I just needed to make it aware that it was a rebirth, that what you're going through, everything you're going through now, even encountering this video was no luck of circumstance. There's a reason behind it, and you need to understand that reason is intentional. The whole reason this even becomes possible in my mind is because, I said it before, we're in the mind of a mind. Like, our minds are only carrying out the thinking of what we exist in, which is another mind. And the way I like to make sense of it is in a dream. When you're dreaming, you have no control of your surroundings, your scenery, but even if you become lucid, you can only control your interactions in that dream. You can never control every circumstance surrounding that dream. That's exactly what we're in, is we're in the mind of our creator, and we're living inside the dream. And the reason symbols can make sense is because it's the creator's mind within our own creator's mind that's trying to collaborate and try to mix together, and is trying to put things together. And it comes through the form of minuscule, tiny, itty-bitty symbols that you have to take the choice to be able to believe in. From the cicada being a flying creature and being a symbol of song, the red-winged blackbird being a symbol of song, it's all it's springing into spiritual singing, like spiritual joy or spiritual life. Or so many symbols have been in my face, and I just take it and I just think it's my own natural world. But I'm beginning to realize maybe I need to explain these symbols a little further and how they become symbols, because the most simplest of thing can be a symbol, and you're probably bypassing it, you're overlooking it, you're not even thinking about it, because it's just the world. It's the world you exist in. But I can guarantee you that these little things, from a wasp that's flying by to the lizard that's walking on the rocks, or the red-winged bird that's flying through the sky, they all carry out their symbols. And your mind will know which one to carry out and which one to look up. Your mind will tell you what you have to go figure out. That's not the hard part. It's about listening to it. So once you finally determine to listen, that's when it's all going to begin for you. Taking the initiative on self-discipline and working. Now, with these videos, I'm hoping to not only teach you guys, but I'm also teaching myself. So understand that I don't think I'm on a high horse or anything. This is, if anything, conquering my fears, and I'm trying to become the leader that I'm building myself up to be, because I plan to have more teachings like this, more structured teachings. I'm trying to figure out the level of where I'm at. I want to be able to conquer this speaking ability. I want to be able to do all this that I'm doing for you guys now, but I want to do it on a mass scale. In order to do that, I have to start somewhere, so that's where these videos come into play. So understand that just by you sitting here, but just by you watching, I feel your energy. Trust me, I feel it. There's only a few out there, or a handful out there, I should say. But I can tell, I can feel it. Like, I can see the power in symbols that are rising up from these little videos that I'm doing. And even though I don't get no vocalization towards it, I can tell by the symbols around me that it's doing some justice. And I'm very happy for that, and I'm very excited for that. I just hope it does justice for each and every one of you individually. And this is the initiation. This is the birth. Understand, I'm going to start covering some of these symbols and what they mean in my world and how I can interpret them. It's just the easiest way I know how, because it's in my face. Last night I had a coyote symbol, and it's a thing of change and transition. And just as all this is change and transition, it's also the trickster, and it's about the ego playing jokes on you, in the sense of not even realizing it's a joke. And in a sense, that's where I'm at, is my ego is taking over, because every video that I go with my own thoughts of what direction I should take, I'm not happy. And it's only in these videos that I go off of the flow that it makes me truly happy. So I hope it brings joy to you guys. We're trying to keep it quick, of course, because of my lovely program, which I hope to update soon. One day I'll just do a video without the mics, that way I can go as long as need be. But for right now, that's what we'll stick with. You are great, you are powerful, you are beautiful. Just make sure you repeat that daily and never forget. We're going to go into mantras another day. Thank you. I love you guys. Michael Smith, and I'm out.